Assalamu alaikum and welcome back everyone here to the second day on this Python basic workshop. If I'm audible there, please do let me know with an S in the chat box, and then we can get started with today's session. All right, and thank you for the contribution. And we are on time to start at exactly 7. So we would just wait for another 2 minutes. Meanwhile, we have other participants joining us, and then we can start with the session. Meanwhile, others are joining us. All those who are present here can quickly open your interpreters and then be ready. I'll share my screen meanwhile. Uh, Here we go. Python online interpreter. So I'll just open that. Yes, surely, Mohammed Kamran. Okay, so let's begin here. So before we begin, let us just have a quick recap on the things what we have been checking out yesterday, and then we can get started with today's session. So in yesterday's session, we learned what is Python and why is Python being important, and how simple the syntax of the Python is. We learned about the print statements. Going ahead, we learned what are variables, how can we store data into the variables, how can we print the variables. We also learned the arithmetic operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and divisions. We also learned the different data types like integers, strings, boolean, and float. We also performed the concatenation of strings and type function and length function. And when we were adding or concatenating the string and the integer, we had an error. So we resolved that by converting the integer to string with the str function, and then we concatenated two different strings. And then we were able to print out our results. So this was what we had been learning yesterday. And today, we would learn how can we take an input from the user, store that input in the variable, and then print out the same. We'll also learn what are arrays, what are tuples, and what are dictionaries. And along with this, we'll also do one very important thing if time permits, that is, we'll take an input from the user, we'll take an input from the user and try to make a calculator like yesterday, but yesterday we had done without taking an input from the user, but today we'll do that with a input taken from the user. So shall we begin with this? So Python allows us to take an input from the user. So it's pretty much easy. So we can just use an input function and then take a input from the user. So let us see how can we do that. So I'll just write here print welcome to second session. Welcome to second session. And then go ahead. I'll make a comment here. All right. Let's take an input from the user and store. Okay, first let us take an input from the user. Okay. So how do we do that? And store the data in a variable. So what we'll do is we'll declare a variable first. I'll write name equals to, I'll use an input function, input, and I'll write enter your name. Enter your name. Enter your name, okay? And with this input function, now I can take an input from the user. So if I just run this, it is asking me enter your name. I can write here HMAD. So AHMAD, I press enter, nothing happens because it says name Ahmed is not defined. No worries. We're good to go ahead. Yes, please do along with me. Please do it along with me. So just write name, and by using the input function, I can take an input. But while I'm taking an input, I'm also displaying them a message telling that enter your name. And below I'll write print statement, print your name is hello. I'll write hello followed by name. So I'll save this. Sorry for that. I'll run this again. I'll write AHMAD, and if I press enter, it says hello Ahmed, because what it is doing is it is taking a input with the input function and storing that data, whatever entering it into the variable called name, and in this name it has a variable, it has the data whatever I have entered, that is Ahmed. And in the second line, that is seventh here, I am writing print hello plus the name. So it is printing hello Ahmed. Are we clear with this, everyone? I'll give you 2 minutes of time. You can quickly write this. I hope it's clear, everybody. join late. So what did we take? We just took the input statement here and then we printed the input. You can also take multiple inputs at once. For example, I can write city equals to input and then enter your city. Enter your city. And here I'll write and here I'll write and you live in city. I'll say I'll do this. Shall we write our own name? Say yes, you're going to write your own name. I'll write run here. It is asking me for the first input. I'll write Ahmed here. And now it's giving me an error. So what I'll do is I'll just I'll take another input later here. So all the initials must be in caps. No, 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 no. It's really not required that you write your initials in the caps. Okay, I'm just writing it here. You can write without that also. It works perfectly well. Okay, do not do that. You can write as you like to write. And you can give your own names. Okay, now what we'll do is we will take an input from the user again. I'll write a number equals to, I'll write input and write please enter a number to please enter a number to add. Please enter a number to add, or you can also write please enter a number and then write here print number. And let us do that. Run here, write Ahmed here, and then please enter a number, and then I write 4, and it prints me 3 for now. So it is not asking, it is not giving me any errors like whether it is an integer or something like that. I can find out that by uh, getting to know this from here by giving a type function. And then I'll get to know it, whether it is a integer or a string. ahmad, I'll write 5, and it is taking this as a string. Remember that it is now taking this as a string. Even though we have given a number, but it is taking that as a string. So we cannot add these two things. If we add these two things, they'll just get concatenated, but not added. Are we clear with this? Okay, now going ahead, we'll check out now what are arrays, and then followed by tuples and then dictionaries. And after completing these things, we'll come back here and then check out if we can do something after learning all of these things and implement that to do something useful. So firstly we'll do is we'll see arrays. So what are arrays? Arrays are nothing but collection of similar type elements, or you can say collection of similar data types. Similar data type elements are nothing but an array. So how can we create an array? So arrays are pretty much simple out there. So whenever you have a multiple elements, more than one elements you want to store in the same variable, then you can use an array. You can, in other words, you can say that arrays are nothing but a special type of variables which can hold more than one. A variable can only store one single value, that is one single thing, but one single data, but arrays can store multiple data. So you can see arrays are nothing but a special type of variables which can hold more than one value at a time. So example, if you have a list of names or list of flowers, list of cars, and you want to add all these things into one single variable itself, then what you can do is you can create an array. So how can we create an array? Let us just have a look into it quick. So implementing an array is pretty simple. I'll just implement an array known as bird. I'm creating one quick variable called bird. And now there are so many birds, okay? So what I'll do is I'll write firstly hummingbird. So there's one element. Then I'll write parrot. Then I'll write, I'll write peacock. I'll write crow. I'll write kingfisher. So all of these are birds, and I'm storing all of this. Okay, somebody said me pigeon. Let me also add that also for him, for his happiness. Pigeon. Okay. So I added all of these things. So all of these are birds, and I have stored them all into the same variable, that is bird. So this whenever you see multiple elements are being stored into a single variable, that is nothing but an array. So now if I write print and if I write bird and see what happens, I'll do is I'll remove this thing so that I do not have issue with this. If not every time I need to keep on entering the input. So run. Now you can see this. I have all the things being printed: hummingbird, parrot, peacock, crow, kingfisher, and pigeon. You can also do one more thing in this, that is very example, you do not want to print everything. You just want to print the kingfisher, or you just want to print the parrot, or you just want to print the hummingbird, or you just want to print pigeon. You have all of these things, but you just want to print a hummingbird or a parrot. So what you can do is you can access, we say that as an indexing. We can index, like we can assign each number one. So in arrays, the first number will always be, the first element will always hold a place of 0. Yes, so this is going to be 0. This is going to be ones place. This is in the seconds place. This is going to be the third index, fourth index, fifth index. So this, the first element of an array will always be index 0, and this is going to be index 1, index 2, and so on. So now if I want to print peacock, what should be my index? What will I write here? What will be my index number? I want to print the peacock, so what should be my, yes, everyone please let me know here what should be my, So somebody says 3, somebody says 2. So let me know the right one, everybody. The right answer is it should be 2, because I said index in arrays, the first element will always be 0. There's going to be the first and there's going to be second. So if I write 2 here, if I write 2 there and print this, now you can see that it is only printing the peacock. If I write the 0 here, it's going to print the first one, that is the hummingbird. Are we clear with this, everyone? All right. Now imagine that you are very much enthusiastic to know what is the length of this. You do not want to sit and count how many different elements are there in this array. How many different elements are there in this array? You do not want to count that. So what you can do is you can use a length function, len length, and then length function. And now you will have the length of this array. So it says 6, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this way, I can also have the length of the Are we clear with this, everyone? Syed Farooq Ahmed says he is not clear with this. May I know what is the issue you have? Then we can address your issue. All right. Now imagine that after writing this, you remember to one more bird name. Yes, Muhammad Talha, if you want to print all at once, just write bird. Just write bird, that is array name, and you'll have everything at once. Now imagine that. Imagine you forgot to add one bird name, and later you remembered that. Later you remembered that. So how would you add it? So we can add it by append function. There is a function known as append. Append function. So what I'll do is I'll just write bird dot append bird dot append, and I'll add the new bird name. So can you please tell me one bird name every here? So falcon. So it's a falcon. Okay. So now I added a falcon. So now with this append function, what is happening is I have added falcon to this bird. So bird dot append. Now this falcon is added to this. Now let me print this. Print bird. Print the bird. Let me see what happens now. If I run this, you see that there is one more extra bird here, falcon. When I was printing it earlier, here it was not there, but later I added it and now it has a bird. So now you can see this in the second printout, it is telling a falcon. Faizan Ahmed, because the first element of an index is always 0. First element of an index is always 0. Okay, that's the reason the last element will be the last number n minus 1, where n is nothing but the total number of elements. So now imagine that you do not like the crow now. He is not being liked by you. So you don't like a crow and you want to remove this crow. So what you do is you can use a remove function. Remove function. To remove this bird dot, you can also write remove bird dot remove and then you can write crow. And now the crow will be removed. Now if I print bird, I'll no more have it is giving me an error because it has to be capital C. And now you can see this, there is no crow in the last printout. This is the third line, right? I'm printing here also, I'm printing here also, and here there is no crow out there. Are we clear with this? You want me to zoom in? Yeah, here we go. Are we clear with this, everyone? So now you can also remove the element with a word known as pop. Pop. So you can see this if you also use a pop. So it says cannot be interpreted as an integer in this. So okay, we'll use whenever you want to, you can use the pop with a index number. Might be I'll remove the 4. So if I run this, yeah. So if you want to remove them with an index number, if you want to remove them with an index number, that is you just want crow was what? 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'll remove 3. So third index, so that will be removed. Now I have no crow here. Where can we see all the functions and syntax of the Python compiler? The documentations of the Python. Now imagine that you want to inverse this. So what you can do is reverse bird. So most probably this should work. If not, we'll save that in one. Yes. So what we'll do is we'll write here bird dot reverse, and now this function will just print a bird. Now what will happen is now this complete string, this complete thing is inverted. You can see this falcon has come first and hummingbird came last. That is the whole thing just got inverted. That is reversed. Are we clear? Can we add any bird to the bracket in the 17th line? Can we add any bird to the bracket in the 17th line? No. This is a bird reverse function you have here. So you're just reversing it. So now we'll go ahead and then see dictionaries in case of Python. So now we'll see the dictionaries. I'll erase this. I'll erase this completely now, and we'll see the dictionaries. Okay. Can we input a snake name? We can input anything you wish. Okay. So now we are going to have a look into dictionaries in Python. So what is a dictionary in a Python? So the dictionary in a Python is pretty simple. They are written in a curly brackets, and these are having the values in a key and value pair. Key and value pair. For example, if we just do is, we'll quickly create it. I'll write my car. Okay, this is my dictionary name equals to, I'll write here, and then I'll press enter. I'll write brand of my car is to Honda, and then comma, then I can write color of my car, sorry, color of my car is white, comma, I'll write top speed of my car is, I'll write 200 kilometers per hour. Then I'll write, what should we write? Model of my car is Civic. Then we'll write, okay, we have so many things. So horsepower, type, interior color, and all of these things. We'll just write year of my car is 2020. So what is the difference here is that we have some key, that is there is some key and the value. Like example, if I say name, then it'll tell Ahmed. If I say age, then it'll tell some age. If I tell gender, then it'll tell male. If I tell country, I'll tell India. So this is nothing but like I have a key and also a value for that. So what is a brand? Honda. What is the color? White. What is the top speed? 200. What is the model? Civic. What is the year? 2020. So whatever you can add anything. Okay, you can add sedan, interior color, gear, whatever you want to add. You can add those things. So I'll not add those things for now. You can add it if you want to. And then I'll write print. I'll write my car. When I run this, I get all the things as it is there. So I'll also write here below this. I just want to confirm whether it is a dictionary or not. I'll write type and then I'll write my car. If I run this, I get, it says DICT, which means it is a dictionary. So I'm also checking out, cross-checking out, okay? So are you all getting this, everybody? And if you want to add length also, like if you want to know the length of this dictionary, you can also add LEN and then write my car, and then you will have, then we'll have the length of my, so it says the length of is 5. Now imagine that you just want to print the color of it. So I'll write print, I'll write the color of my car is, and then I'll write, I just want to take one value from here that is nothing but the color. So how do we get that? So what I can do is I can write my color, okay, my color, and then I'll just write the color there and nothing else. So my color, then I'll write color. So I'm just calling the color the way we were calling earlier with index number. I'm just calling my color here. So now if I do this, so I get to have my color is not defined. Okay, sorry, it should be my car. So if I run this, it says the color of my car is white. Are we clear with this? Similarly, if you want to have something else, might be you want to write V and I'll read the brand of my car, the year of my car, and then change here to whatever the value you want to, that is Q. So I'll write EO and then print it. You can see this, you get so nicely. The color of my car is white, the color of my car is Honda, the brand of my car is Honda, the year of my car is 2020. So this is known as dictionaries where you can have key and their value. So you're just calling the key here and it is printing the value of that. So you're calling the key that is brand and it is printing Honda here. That is the value of that particular key. Are we clear with this, everyone? So this my car also can be added. That is, in the example, if you think that just imagine you have two ears, like you accidentally add two same keys, then this is going to give you an error. So if I just run this, it is giving me same thing. Even if I change this, let me change this value. Okay, 200. So it is giving me the latest value and not the last one, not the previous one. So make sure that you do not do that mistake. Do not create a duplicate keys. Can we use an append here? Yes, you can add or delete the data. So how do you do that? How can we use append here? For example, after some time, you got to know that you forgot to add the number of gears your car has, and you want to add that thing now. So what you can do is, it's simple, like we had done earlier. That is, you'll write my car dot, my car, and then you'll give the gear, and for that you'll give the value 6. And then it has a 5 gears. And now if I print my car, let me see if I get it. So you can see this, I have a new one, that is gear equal to 5. Sir, will everything be saved? No, I'm writing an online interpreter. So as soon as I close this will go away. So if you create your own file, the computer with the offline interpreter, that will be saved. So are we clear with this? You can also remove the items from here by just using simple thing, that is, for example, you do not want to have year. So what I'll do is I'll write my car dot pop, and then I'll write ear. Then I can write print my car run this. Now you can see that the second this line doesn't have an ear. Sir, how did you add another key that is get by this up my car and then adding this way? It's showing an error, sir. Please check out the code once again. If you might have made some mistake. It is okay now. Aman? How did you remove the ear, sir? I removed the ear with the help of a pop function, that is pop, and then I removed it. So I did a pop here, and I removed the ear. So shall we go ahead and then see one more thing? So kindly complete it soon. I'll give another 2 minutes, and then we'll go ahead with the next thing. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll go back to the first topic of today. That is, we'll take an input from the user and then do the calculations. Okay. We'll now take the input from the user and do the proper calculation. All right. I'll remove this all. I'll delete this completely. So here we go. I'll write here, welcome to my simple calculator. Okay. Now we'll do is we'll create num1. That is the first number equals to, I'll write integer because I want to take an integer. Numbers are integer. I'll use an input function to take an input. I'll write here, please enter the first number. And close this. We'll print, just for the user's confirmation, entered number is, we'll write num1. I'll copy this, so to save some time, Control C here, Control V here, and I'll make this as a number 2. Enter the second number, and this is going to be number 2. And here I'll create sum equals to num1 plus num2. I'll print the addition of the two numbers is plus, convert them to string and write sum. Now if I run this, it says me please enter the first number. I'll write 23. So now it says can concatenate only the string. Okay, I need to change this to a string whenever I'm writing this. So same thing with this string. Now if I run this properly again, 23, 45, and the addition of two numbers is 68. I think this looks pretty good, right? So are you all getting this, everyone? Now you can see this, it's so nice. It says please enter the first number. I enter 45. It says entered number is 45. Then we are asking the second number. We're writing 67. It says the addition of the two numbers is 1112. Similarly, you can also do for remaining things. If you all are getting the output, please let me know, and then we can go ahead. Sir, please let me know what is str. So what is happening, Muhammad Ayan, is number num1 is having the integer, that is number. Num2 is also having the integer. But whatever we have inside the double quotes is nothing but the string. So we cannot concatenate string and the number, that is integer, string and the integer. So what we are doing is we are converting this num1 integer to a string and then concatenating it. Understood? So we are right calling the str functions to convert this num2 to a string. And here we may have integer or character, or we may also have a string. So what we are converting that to integer. I hope that's clear. How to give you the division signal, sir? You need to give this and then run this. Enter the first number 29 and third, and you can see this 29 divided by 3 is 9.666. What is a print? Print is the statement function to print something in the output console, to print it. So it has to be a div the division, and this has to be a div. So you can give everything to this user, whomsoever they ask. So now you can see it is doing so fast. Yeah, I have my number. So this is all for today's session. And in tomorrow's session, we would be learning on the if-else conditions, what are functions, and we'll also learn a for loop and one application based on that. So these three things we're going to do it for tomorrow's session. If you have any questions, you can stay in the class for now for another 5 minutes, and then you can let me know your questions.